Hey mamas, this is Playfully Faithful Parenting, and I'm your host, Joy Wendling. I'm a seminary grad and children's and family minister turned stay-at-home mom to my 5 girls. Spiritual parenting is my calling, and it's my passion to help other mamas disciple their kids using the power of play and their own authentic daily walk with Christ. If you're a mama who wants to introduce your kids to Jesus and watch as the Holy Spirit transforms their lives, this is the place for you. I'm so glad you're here. So let's dive in and see how we can partner with God today. Hey mamas, welcome back to Playfully Faithful Parenting. I'm your host Joy, and I'm really excited for you to be here today with me. I am going to share this idea I had over the summer of a new way, maybe new, I've never heard this before, so we're going to claim it as new, a new way to think about play and to have ways to fit it into your life. So this summer, I attended an online summit called Free to Play, and it's a secular summit, mostly of early childhood education experts. In this summit, there was someone there who was talking about mindfulness for kids, and she talked about this idea of micro moments of mindfulness. And I wish I could remember which speaker it was because I would love to give her credit, but I can't find my notes and I can't remember what her name was. So I'm so sorry. And if any of you listening happen to be at the Free to Play Summit online and you know what I'm talking about, please email me and let me know her name so I can give her credit in the show notes. However, she talked about these micro moments of mindfulness. And so I had this idea. What if we thought about play instead of just this like, oh my gosh, my kids need to play. I need to carve out this 30-minute to 2-hour opportunity of time for us to play. No, what if we thought about play in micro moments? What if we had micro play, meso-play, and mega play, right? Or macro play, I guess would be the technical word, but mega play sounds more fun. So we're going to talk about what are some ways that we could incorporate micro play, meso play, macro play, and then maybe even mega play, which would be like super big time, right? Into our lives, not only for our kids, but for ourselves as mamas as well. Okay, so we're busy, right? We have things to do. We have kids to drop off, other kids to pick up, naps to make sure happen, meals to make and clean up and diapers to change and all this stuff. How do we fit in play, right? We readjust our expectations of play. And so here are my new 4 types of play. Micro play, something that takes less than 5 minutes. It might be one song dance party. And this could be with your kids. It could be with yourself, right? I have found that if I turn on an old song that just makes me happy, that it can really change my mood. And so a one song dance party is an example of microplay. Or for me also, just a warm cup of tea, especially now as the seasons are changing and it's getting stormy and windy here in the Pacific Northwest with some rain, and I'm loving it. And if I can just take a few moments to sit down and drink a good cup of tea or maybe a chai tea latte, then that is a moment of microplay for me. With your kids, it might be a quick session of red light, green light, or hide and go seek, or some silly game, or a dance party with them singing something from one of their favorite movies, or a worship song they like. Anything that's under 5 minutes is microplay. It could be like 30 seconds. It's microplay. As long as it brings some refreshment to your soul, that's what we're looking for with microplay. Then we have meso-play. That's that middle area. So I think meso-play is going to be somewhere, some kind of activity in the 5 minutes to up to 2 hours. And this doesn't necessarily mean you sitting there for 2 hours with your kids. This could be for them, or it could be for you, or it could be an activity done together. So meso-play could be going to the park. It could be taking a walk. It could be doing Play-Doh. It could be baking something. It could be gardening, going and jumping on the trampoline, dolls, a longer dance party, watching a movie. Those are all meso-play. So they're right in the middle. They're kind of probably what we typically think of when we think of we have to play with our kids. Something in the 5-minute to 2-hour range. Then we have macro play, right? So macro play, I'm saying, is in the 2 to 6 hour range. So like a day trip. Maybe you go to the zoo, maybe you go to the beach, or you get really creative and you set up, a fort in the living room and you have a camp out overnight with indoor s'mores and all of that kind of stuff. That is macro play. Macro play is going to take a little bit of prep and planning, and it doesn't usually just happen. It's macro play. Then here we have mega play. Mega play. Okay, mega play is like a vacation, or that's maybe a weekend long, or maybe a full week, couple weeks, whatever. That's big. That's like the big adventures that just totally refresh your whole family, but maybe sometimes you're more tired from the play than you were going into it in the beginning. But it's so worth it because you've created a ton of memories, and you met people or saw animals or did something new or stepped out of your comfort zone. But it could also be a really big staycation. So staycations are happening a lot right now, whether it's for budget reasons or COVID reasons or whatever. Mega play it's great. And I encourage you and your family to try to do mega play when you can, once a year, twice a year. But I think we get stuck saying, I don't have enough time to play, because we think that our kids want macro play and mega play all the time. And that's what they need to make their childhood perfect and have all these wonderful memories, is they need this big play all the time. When I think really incorporating small moments of micro play throughout our day is going to be really refreshing for our hearts. Our souls are going to give us opportunities to delight in God and to glorify Him and the blessings that He has given us, and are really just going to have a bigger impact on our kids. And also using that micro play to point our kids to God is going to be make a much bigger impact on our kids than macro play or mega play, right? So your kids are going to be more shaped by the small moments of play that you incorporate into your life than by the big vacations that you take them on. And our family loves to go on like little day adventures, even just a couple of hours, something macro play. We do a couple times a month, and we call them adventures, and we go to Seattle Zoo, we go to the beach or parks and those kinds of things that are farther away. And it's great, and we love it, and we all enjoy it. We enjoy the time together in the car and doing different things. But I think the small moments of tickle fights and being silly together, those micro moments are the ones that I think are going to have a bigger impact on their lives. So, mamas, what do you think? Have you heard this idea before? Is it something that helps you to feel like you can better incorporate play into your life? Can you, as a mom, incorporate some micro play into your own life every day? Like less than 5 minutes. Just be intentional over your coffee or your tea, flipping through a magazine, a few minutes of reading a book. take a short drive, put on some music. Here's my slightly embarrassing truth for right now. I have been listening to something to Travis Tritt's It's a Great Day to Be Alive. We used to sing that when I was a young life leader, when I was in college. And so I've been listening to it this past week, and it's really helped to pump me up and to liven my spirits, and my girls and I are singing it together, and I haven't thought about that song in years. And it was just I need something fun. And I thought of this song. And so I've been listening to it every day just for a little bit of micro-play. So kind of embarrassing, maybe. I don't know. I'm not normally a country music listener, but there you have it. I've been listening to country music every day this week. So, microplay can be anything. It can be 20-year-old country music. It can be a cup of tea. It can be even squishing your kids' Play-Doh in your own hands, making something as you're helping to clean it up. Really, anything that helps you to become intentional with incorporating just a smidge of play in your life, because Mama, you need it. We all need it. And science shows us that it's so good for our brains and our emotions and everything. And I think God created that need in you. And so please find some time, just a few moments, for some microplay today and every day. And on behalf of God, thanks for loving and playing with his kid. Talk to you soon. Well, mamas, that's it for today. Thanks for joining me on Playfully Faithful Parenting. I'd love to keep the conversation going over on the socials. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. If you felt encouraged or equipped by today's show, do me a favor and leave a review. I can't wait to hear your story. Till next week, keep playing and pointing those littles to Christ.